Are you getting ready to sell on Amazon, but have one little problem that potentially could be a big problem? Where do I start my pricing? Well, if you're sitting in this boat just like I was, then I have a strategy for you. I would love to teach it to you. Just watch the rest of this video. I'm gonna lay out exactly what I did that worked for me, that got me to over $50,000 a month. If you don't believe that, here it is. Take a look at those numbers. The numbers do not lie. So take a little trip with me. Watch the rest of this video where we're gonna be sitting in my office where I'm gonna dissect exactly what I did to get to this point and show you how it worked for me. Now, there's a lot of people that do a lot of different things. They're probably successful too, but I am also successful and I'm gonna show you exactly how I started. So follow me and let's take a little ride. Welcome to my office, and in my office I'm going to teach you my price point strategy that I use to launch the pricing of every single one of my products. This is how I started my first product. This is what's been working for me, and this is how I've gotten over $50,000 a month and selling on Amazon. There's always going to be a beginning that you have to put your price at, and it can be very, very tricky if you don't know what you're doing. This strategy worked for me. Now, there might be 20 million other strategies out there. I'm not going to teach all of them, and there might be other ones that are successful. More power to every single one of the people that use something different, but this is what worked for me. And this is what I continue to use to grow my business. I'm gonna move right back over here and start teaching it. All right, so you're looking at my high-tech, high-advanced marker board sitting here, but this is exactly how it got taught to me, through a marker board, through a guy that's taught it to me the same exact way I'm gonna teach it to you. So first, let's look at what we're looking at here, and I'll explain it all. We're looking at a chart called the cap, the median, and the floor. Let's explain to you what this is. Now the floor is the very, very bottom of your price where you're not gonna make money. My floor was actually because I negotiated such a good price and I wasn't stuck at 200 ROI. I was actually at about 450 ROI. My floor, to me, it was my 200% ROI. I negotiated very, very well, which you can find other places how to negotiate. We're not going to talk about that in this video, but I negotiated very, very well to have a 450 plus ROI. So my floor was my 200% ROI mark. We're just going to write that down right here so you can see it. 200% ROI. That's what I kept my floor at. We'll come back to that in a minute. The median. Now the median is the average of everybody's price that's selling the same product that you're selling. So you take, if you got 10 people selling, you take all 10 prices and then you look at that median. If you got Boost 9, Boost 9 is a beautiful tool to have. If you have Boost 9, then they kind of give you that median already of all average sellers. The one thing you got to really look out for when you're looking at Boost 9 is sometimes there might be sellers that don't sell the same product you got to put in there. Me personally, what I did is I found everybody that sells the same exact product as me. I added them all up. I divided them into how many different people, and I found my median. That's basic math right there. You find an average point or whatever. That's what a median is, and that's what this dotted line represents. Now your cap. Your cap is no matter how good your product is, they just won't buy it at that point, at that price. That's what your cap is. So let's just say you have the best product, the best packaging, the highest optimized page, your product difference way better than everybody else's product. You are the best product. You are the premium product on here. The cap will be a price that no matter what, they're not going to buy it, just that price is just too high. So that's what we have. Your floor is your bottom line. Your median is your median between everybody that sells a product, and your cap is a price that nobody's going to touch just because it's too high. So just for reference points, we're going to have a floor of $10, a median of $15, and a cap of 20. Now, 10, 15, and 20 might be way different for you. You might be selling your product at $100. You might be selling your product at $30. That'll all be different. 10, 15, and 20 is just really, really easy to break down this process. The floor, the median, and the cap. So this is what you really need to figure out when you're starting your price, is figure out your number one competitor that sells, the highest selling person that you have, and make sure you know exactly where they're at. I'll just reference mine. Mine was right here about this point. He was higher than the median. He was charging a higher price. Now, I'm not saying he was charging that amount of money, but on the chart, that's where they were sitting. This is the strategy that I used right here, and it worked. I started my price right here, right there, right at the floor. My floor was my 200% ROI mark. Now, let's say you don't really have, you have 200% ROI. That is not a problem. This is where you're going to have to put the sacrifice in a little bit. Now, your floor might be your break-even point. So I'm going to write that down here too. Break even. Now, when I mean break even, your floor might be the break even point. Now, when I say break even, I mean that's the price that you're going to set where you're not going to lose money. So that's a little bit tricky. Now, at this point, you don't have PPC on. So that should be very, very clear on what your break even point is. So this is where I started, right here, right at my 200% ROI mark. Now, here are a few things that you really, really got to remember when it comes to Amazon. And this got taught to me, and I'm teaching to you. And when I first tried it, of course, I was a little skeptical, but it worked, and it seemed to be the way it worked. Here's what you want to do: is you want to this can really, really vary between everybody's products and price points. So you want to find maybe a percentage or a number to start raising your price. So let's just say price right here is 50 cents. Now here's another thing when you're starting your price: don't start your price at $9.37 or $10.42. Professional companies do not start the prices there. The professional companies will stay at that 49 mark if they're in the mid dollar mark. They'll stay at that 99-cent mark. They'll keep, 49, 95 cents, 98 cents, 99 cents. That looks professional. When you got something selling for $15.71, it doesn't really look that great, at least to me. Like when I shop on Amazon, when I see a price like that, it's just fishy to me. It's weird. I really like the stuff that is the 49 cents, the 95 cents, the 98 cents, the 99 cents. And there's a psychology to that. If you're charging $20 for something, take it to $19.99 or $19.95. Take it down just a hair, because you're not seeing $20, you're seeing 19. That's what the eye sees. That's what registers in the brain. Now, it's only 1 penny difference, but it's $20 compared to 19, that first number. There's a psychology to that. So you really want to keep that in mind when you're setting your prices. So let's just say right here at $10, you're probably charging $9.99, not $10. So really keep that in mind. So what I did is, my philosophy is I want to get to this mark eventually. I want to get to that premium product because my product was better. I believed it was better than my competition. I differentiated better. I knew that I could not only get to this spot, but maybe even be sitting up above it just a hair. And we actually are now. So it works. Our price now is up there, but we don't jump it. Now that's the next thing. You jump in small increments, and you don't jump day after day after day after day. Now Amazon sees that, and they look at that as maybe a company that doesn't quite know what they're doing. So if I'm jumping my price up to 18, and oh man, I sit there for a day or 2 days and I'm not, maybe that price isn't good, now I'm going to jump it back down to 12. Like, that's really showing inconsistency in your company. Amazon will notice that. Trust me, they will notice that. So don't be jumping your prices up and down. I'm suggesting a move that goes like this, real gradual, and it takes discipline to be able to pull this off, but you can do it. So let me show you how. After I put my price to where it should be right here, and I hit a certain mark that I already had pre-planned, I jump my price up 50 cents, just like that. Once I hit another mark that I had pre-planned, I jump my price up 50 cents, and 50 cents, and 50 cents, and 50 cents. Just like that. I gradually increase my price. Now, your price not be, if you're selling your product for $50 or $100, it's not going to be 50 cents you're going to want to jump. You're probably going to want to jump $2 or $1 or $5. Whatever that jump is for you, you have to have it. You don't want to be selling a product for $53.50. I mean, you can. I'm not saying don't, but that just doesn't look as good as $52.50 or $54.99. I mean, that looks so much better. Just really know that kind of that. There's a philosophy to that. There is a way of thinking about that, to have your price points looking professional. So here's what happened: is after time, as my sales increase, I kept jumping my price incrementally, incrementally, incrementally. And then finally I got to the point where I was right here with my top competitor at the time. Now my sales kept increasing. They kept going up. So why would I stop my price there? No, I didn't. I kept it going. I kept it going. I kept it going until I hit a spot where sales were slowing down. I felt like I was losing sales because my price was getting a little too high. So then I brought her back down and brought it back down. And eventually I nested right in that area right there, just about to where my competition was sitting, actually a little bit higher. And the funny thing about that is when I was really, really, really kicking butt in sales around this point right here, my competition lowered their price. They lowered their price, but through Helium 10, I could see how long he had been sitting at that price. And I don't know if it's a he or a she. I just say he. I'm sorry. It could be a she. It could be a whole bunch of people making these decisions for that company. They lowered their price. They lowered it back down below the median when I was about right here. They seen me coming. They really did. They thought dropping their price down would maybe get me to drop down or whatever. But I already built so much steam by this point. And when I was at that point, I did think to myself, man, maybe I need to drop my price down to match them. No. Look how long they had been sitting at that premium price. They've been sitting at that premium price for almost a year and selling. They got scared and went down. I kept going up. I kept increasing my prices up gradually and gradually and gradually until I knew my price was slowing my sales down, not my competitor's price. Now, I did take a small little hit when they dropped, but it was just like a day or two at the tops, and then it went right back on it. So that's another thing that I am telling everybody. Give it at least a day or two. Two is probably more comfortable to see if that little ripple or that little wave, that little pop will come right back up. And that's what happened to me at this point. So just because you might see your competition, because you're trust me, your competition will see a hit in their sales. They will. And if they're smart and they're good, they will start looking, why is my sales dropping? And I do it all the time. If I see a little slightly anything indicating something different in my sales, I check my competition completely. Is there somebody to come out different? Is somebody doing something different? Is somebody's picture change? What was happening is I was kicking their butt. They dropped their price. It dented me for a day, and I just kept doing what I was doing. I did not lower my price. I did not come down. I kept going. And eventually, I got into my nesting spot where I sit to this day. That's a pricing strategy to start out. Now, there's many out there, but that's the one that worked for me. And that's the one that can work for you if it's executed correctly and with discipline. You don't jump your price up and down. Don't be this. Do not do that. Amazon sees that as inconsistency. They really do. Move in small increments. And even if you feel like you need to go down in small increments. Don't jump way down on a price. And that's a pricing strategy that I just gave away for free. Now, I do sell in brick and mortar. I do sell in retail. And I'm telling you, when I'm telling retail to set their price right here, and I'm sitting down here at this price right here, and they're checking their phone as I'm in the store, and they're saying, how can I be selling at this price when you're on Amazon selling at this price? Well, I explained to them a way they can do it and why it'll all work. And that's all in my academy. It really is. There's so much more in my academy that explains how you can correlate this. But if you're not selling retail, then don't worry about it. This still works for your Amazon FBA business. It really does. It really does. It's a strategy that worked for me. Now, I also have my stuff optimized. I do have my differential. My product is better than my other people's products. If you're not optimized, then this might not work. You have to know that you're going to be better than at least your number one competitor out there. And this will work. So thank you very much. My name is Mike Vale. I'm the owner of Cedar Sense. You might have seen me, you might not have, but I am kicking butt, and I'm going to keep kicking butt on my products. And this is where I start my pricing. This is how I launch my product prices, and it worked. Watch more videos. You guys subscribe down below. This will be aired through 9U and other places. This is also going to get aired on my YouTube channel. If you like the knowledge that I just handed you, then go ahead, hit subscribe down below. There's so many more videos I'm going to release on cool little insiders like this that work for me, that are working for me, that I know if you're selling on Amazon and if you're trying to get into retail, that those two things will correlate, and you will have success by following this stuff. So subscribe down below. I think it's down here. Subscribe down below. Follow this. Pay attention for more stuff we got coming out. And thank you very much. This is a game changer for you guys in the very beginning that don't know where to start your price. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.